What is YouTube back again with another video? In today's video, I wanted to talk about one of the greatest, if not the greatest, story game ever written, ever developed, in my personal opinion. Um, Many of you guys know me for Call of Duty or FPSs in general, like Warface, DayZ, etc. Games that are FPS focused. But I'm a huge gamer, in not just in terms of FPSs, but I love story games like The Last of Us, God of War, Spider-Man. Um, I love other games like the Ghost Recon Wildland games and Breakpoint, um, and other small-time story games, right, that have come out over the years. Some of my first games on OGen, well, I say OGen, but I really should say um, games from like the early 2000s. Okay, some of my favorite games were story games, right? Some of my first games were story games, and um, there's something special about this game, and I'm gonna go into it here in a second. I'm trying to figure out how to get back to my home. I don't remember where it is. It's been a long time since I played this game, guys. I ain't gonna kid. Um, but for anyone that hasn't played this game, I'm gonna go over kind of a little bit to kind of just go over like what it is. So if you guys don't know what it is, you guys can play it. I don't want to tell too much about it, just in case you guys haven't. Um, there it is. That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to do, y'all. That's the place I'm trying to go to. Um, but just in case you guys haven't played this game, I'm gonna say a little bit about it, but I'm not going to spoil anything. So if you're in the game and watching this thing, this account has a platinum trophy. It has 100% completion. We can actually go to my stats. We go to my notebook here, and you can see that I have all of the machines discovered. I just re-downloaded it. That's why I'm a little fidgety with the controls. By the way, I'm still trying to remember what the controls were, but I have everything already discovered. All the characters. I have majority of the artifacts in the game. Basically everything I needed for 100% completion for the trophy. But there's obviously still tons in the game that I haven't completed yet. We can see here that I have majority of the items in the game when it comes to like collectibles and that type of things, as well as all the Burning Short stuff as well, which is the DLC. Um, In-game percentage, I'm a 90%, but if you go by trophies, I'm 100%. Obviously, you don't get the 100%er. I think the last 10% is some of the side quests that I didn't do, and pretty much all the data points that I missed. Anywho, anywho, I did want to make this video because I've been in the mood to play this game again. And I'm thinking about maybe either starting another save file or doing New Game Plus. I don't know. I kind of want to, because this game is so special to me. But before I get into that, I got sidetracked. I want to just go over a brief understanding of this game for people who have never played it before. So while we're doing that, I'm going to do a little honor that I try to do every time I play this game, to the homie Varro. So we're gonna go sit with Varro real quick. And so, if you haven't played Forbidden West or Zero Dawn's the game before Forbidden West. So if you haven't played Zero Dawn, play that before this, so you have an understanding of the storyline. So, basically, the short story is Aloy is a character in this far, 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 far future Earth, after a catastrophe in modern day. Okay, so there's a catastrophe. Basically, robots. There's an evil plague that basically the humans create through these robots. The evil plague takes over the robots, kills the Earth, kills everything on it. Some like 200 something years later, there's a new generation of humans, and then Aloy's born. But the evil presence is now back. And so you have to kind of defeat the evil presence. There's still another game in the series that is supposed to come out. I don't know if we'll get more than 3 titles in the series. The way they've made it sound so far, it sounds like it's going to be a 3-title game series, so no more than that. There is like a side thing, like Call of the Wild, which is like a VR thing, which is technically canon, but I wouldn't consider that the same as like this and in Zero Dawn. But that's basically the brief understanding. I don't want to spoil anything. The only thing I'm going to spoil, obviously, is here is one of the characters dies. But for the most part, that's just a small thing in the game. There's so much more. But I won't spoil none of the main story missions, the main plots, the main enemies, etc. That's stuff I'll leave for you guys to find on your own. But I wanted to go over just the atmosphere this game gives me as a player, but I also, hopefully you guys can get what I'm saying through this video in the sense that there really isn't a game like this. And they don't make games like this that often anymore. This came out, if I remember correctly, in 2020, 2022, somewhere in that area. Came out with the PS5. It was like the big selling game for PS5. I actually have the PS5 that came with this game. That's how I got this game originally. It came with the console. And so when I played Zero Dawn all those years ago, from like 2016, 2015, that era, on the PS4, it was a great experience, but I wasn't invested, right? I had a really good time playing the game, but it wasn't nothing mind-blowing. You know, it wasn't much different than, say, like playing like God of War or something, and the 2018 version, or anything like that. But when I played Forbidden West, the biggest thing for me is, and you can probably see it just from the video, I'm hoping it comes up, and it should because it's a 4K, it'll be uploaded in 4K, but the atmosphere, the way it looks, the sounds, the music, you're probably going to hear it. I don't know how loud I'll be compared to the music, but there is just something about the game itself that I just can't explain. My first experience playing this game was flying when I first got the Jackal upgrade, which is like a bird you can get. You can train and pretend to not pretend. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe this. You can kind of like capture or pacify some creatures in the game, and one of them's a bird or a pterodactyl, like a modern robot pterodactyl in a sense. You can get one of those and you can fly it around. And one of the very first scenes that I had flying it around was flying over the desert at night after you capture one of the locations. It makes the area all glowy, glows in the dark. It's really dope. And having In the Flood play. Now, In the Flood is a song in the game by, let me pull the image up. I have the image of the name of the artist. It is by Aluska Lewich and a couple of other artists kind of mixed in. They help with the vocals and the soundtrack. But she sings this song so phenomenal, and it's basically, it's such a moving song because what it does is it really speaks to you through the game. And I think that's important when it comes to story games. For me, that is anyway. For me, it's such an important thing, the visuals and the storytelling and the atmosphere it gives, right? A game can have really shitty mechanics, but if it has such great music, great graphics, and a great atmosphere around that, and as well as a good story, right? Then I'm able to enjoy the game even with the shitty controls. Like, I'm not a fan of the Last of Us controls, the way the games play, but the story, the music, the atmosphere in the Last of Us series is so good, and so that's a big reason why I don't mind playing those games or watching the TV show or etc., right? And I know some people, this might just be a rant or a ramblant, but this is something that I've really wanted to talk about. I think I've talked about it once before after I got my Platinum Trophy, but there's something so special about this game that I only, like once or twice every couple of months I'll come back to it, I'll think about this game, and like I get this urge to just want to just talk about it for hours. And I think that's really special in today's age because it's so hard to find games that you're just so happy to talk about and feel so good to talk about. Like, this is one of those games where anytime someone is deciding whether or not they want to buy a new game or buy a console for a specific game, this is the game I recommend for PS5 players. If you are wanting to get a PS5 or you have a PS5 but you really want to experience true next generation experience, this is the game to play. Not only are the controls fantastic in this game, this has some of the best gameplay controls ever. The way the bows feel, the way the combat feels is so smooth. The only thing this game could do better on, and I really hope they do better on in the future, is the parkour is a little rough. Parkour is rough when you have to do a lot of it in a row. So if you're just doing a little bit of parkour here and there, it's not bad. But when you do a lot of parkour, like if you're doing like one of the missions, a couple of the missions you do for the Platinum Trophy that require a lot of parkour, right? Those can be a little frustrating, and those can make you rage. But for the most part, it's pretty solid overall. Again, no game is perfect, so this game does have its flaws in certain locations. Now, I know a lot of people hate on this game. There's actually a lot of hate on this game for some odd reason. I don't know why, and a lot of people will forget this game even exists, because this and God of War Ragnarok are the only two, in my opinion, the only two truly next generation games that we've ever received, including beating Call of Duty or Battlefield or any of those games. These are the true next generation games, and the reason for that is because these games are so massive. Now, I can't speak necessarily for how big or how long it takes to beat the game for Ragnarok, since I've never played it. I've only seen videos of it. But for this game, it takes about 100 hours or so to get the Platinum Trophy, give or take, if you're good or not. I was okay. I struggled in some areas. I had to watch a lot of tutorials because I was slow. I still am slow, but for the most part, it's pretty long game, pretty average. I would think most games these days are around 100 hours for the Platinum Trophy. And the thing about this game, right, that makes it such an experience is because if it's a single player game, right? So you're not in a party chat most times talking to someone. You're playing games like this. You're playing by yourself in your room with your headset on both ears. You know, like me, I don't know about many other players, but for me, because I play FPS games, I normally keep one headset earbud off. I'm only usually listening through one ear headset because that way I can communicate with people around me. And usually if I'm talking on the mic a lot, I don't want to like feel like I'm yelling, so I usually take the one headset off. Put the headset off. And when you're playing story games, you oftentimes have both headsets on, at least for me. So it adds a sense of immersion to the game, right? And just sitting here, right? We just sat here for a few minutes talking. We're about 12 minutes so far in this video, and this atmosphere has changed several different times. The music, the visuals, and that is just a testament for how this game is. This game is always like this. It has such great background music, and when you're flying over areas, or you're running through the woods, or diving under the oceans and going into secret hidden caverns, and going into terminals and dissecting the lore of this universe, there's always something that is just blowing you away. Even after the Platinum Trophy, and I was literally earned the Platinum Trophy, and as I was going somewhere to just log off for the night and get some sleep, because I think at that point I had been up for quite a while playing the game, getting the last little bit of trophies, I stopped and found myself, and I should have a picture. I'll have a picture probably in here somewhere. Just overlooking an area in the distance. It was like a sunset, and it was probably the most emotional experience that I think I've ever had in a video game. Like, truly, I've played some phenomenal games over my life, games that have changed my life, like Call of Duty, games that I would, never want to give up ever, like Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, games that when I play them, I feel like I'm a kid again. But that one scene in this game with the right soundtrack playing, it was like one of those soft melodies that was really loud, soft melodies playing, sunset, and it was such I can't even describe the way it felt. It was the most immeasurable feeling that is so rare, and is sometimes a once in a lifetime opportunity, right? Had I not chose to play that game, I could never have had the same experience. And so anytime I see someone talking shit on this game, I wonder what their experience was like. Because if you really dive into this game, your experience is so pleasant. And Aloy is such a beautifully crafted character. Now, I know some people don't like female leads or black leads or white leads or male leads or whatever because they're racist or homophobic or whatever their reasoning is. Um, but Aloy is such a beautifully character. It's such a beautiful character. The way she's designed, the way her story is, the way she interacts with people is so real and is so relatable. Now, many people that play this game will tell you that Aloy is a lesbian. In the game, she is technically a lesbian. It's not it's sort of technically correct because she does flirt with a lot of the female leads in the game. Like there's other female characters she does flirt with, and I think you even have a romantic relationship with one of the characters. But she's never straight up called a lesbian, or she's never straight up called gay or anything of those forms. So technically she is, but technically she's not. It depends on how far you read into the character. But she is definitely truly one of those characters that when I think of the greatest female leads in cinema, that either be games or movies, Aloy will always be in the top 5 for me for best female leads, best female main characters, protagonists, because she's again so relatable. She's going through tragedy of losing a parent or both parents because she finds out later on that she's related to a past human from the last generation, the generation that killed the Earth. And then she also loses her parent that is alive now. And then she goes through that pain, but she also has to protect all of her people in the greater world, right? And so she's going through that pain as well of having all that burden put on her. And then she loses a friend during the main story of this game, and that puts even more burden on her. But then she powers through and she finds an honor, right? A respectful honor to her enemies and was willing to stand their ground to fight against them. And it's truly just so relatable because every day we struggle with different things, paying bills, dealing with parents, or dealing with a relationship, or dealing with bullies, or losing friends, deaths in a family, deaths from friends. There's so many different pains that everyone feels every day, and we all have to power through them. And it's such a remarkable way. The creators of this game, I think it was a Japanese gaming design studio through Sony, because this is Sony's IP. They nailed it, man. They really, truly did. And this is why this is one of my favorite games of all time. And I would argue it's probably one of the best, if not the best, storyline in a story game, open world RPG we've ever had, and probably ever will, because it's just perfect in what it needs to do. What it's trying to do is it's perfect in what it's meant to try to do. If that makes any fucking sense. There's no it's so moving, and I'm trying to articulate the words to describe it, which is why I'm stuttering so much. But that's just because of the passion that I have for this game. My buddy Lightbeam, I know he's probably want to watch this video, so I'm gonna send it to him after the once it's uploaded. Has been talking about maybe playing this game, and if you do decide to play this game, I don't think you will come out the same. You will, if you truly give it a shot and you go in with an open mind and you just experience the game, turn off Wi-Fi for a few hours, mute your phone, put it on Do Not Disturb, and really just immerse yourself in the world of Horizon Forbidden West, I don't think you'll come out the same. I know I didn't. I went in before thinking that this was going to be a game to just pass time until new stuff for Kai came out. I think this is around the same time that I got Next Generation, so I was playing Modern Warfare 2 and Next Generation, and I was done grinding Orion and all that stuff, so I was waiting for something new to do. And once I left this game and I got the Platinum Trophy and I beat the storyline, I had felt like I had lost like a limb. Like I felt like I had lost something that I needed or I relied on. And that was when I truly knew that this game had done what no other game in years had done for me. And that was reconnect me to what gaming meant for me. Like, what was the last game that you felt truly proud of? If that makes any sense. Like when you play games, like for me, for example, I play Call of Duty every day, all day, and it's great. Sometimes. Sometimes. But at the end of the day, oh, this is one of those scenes, by the way. Look at this. The sunsets in this game are phenomenal. Like, just like, dude, I don't know what they did to make the sunset so great, but the sunsets in this game and sunrises, this is sunrise, by the way. I don't know why I said sunset, but sunsets and sunrises are just phenomenal in this game. And just mountaintops are one thing, but if you're down in the valleys for these sunsets and sunrises, it is just insane. It is you. I'm telling you, play the game, and you will find yourself wanting to take pictures every 30 seconds. Um, but I think for me, like when I play Call of Duty, it's not necessarily a job per se, but it's definitely something where if I have to play it just for a video, it does wear me down mentally and physically, right? That's why I haven't uploaded in the last couple of days since I got the 51 shirt camos because I just I just didn't want to play the game. I just didn't want a game. I had no oomph. I had lost the want to game because of that grind. And I saw a picture online of Aloy doing a mission from someone who tweeted it out, and that's when it hit me. Like, this is what gaming's about at the end of the day. Playing something, learning a story, entering another universe, and learning a character and understanding a character, understanding their pain and their loss, but also being there with them when they have the triumph and victory over their own pain and suffering or their enemies, right? And this is what this game does so phenomenally well in. And now I'm already here talking here for almost 22 minutes, and I haven't even gotten into the phenomenal weapon mechanic system, the survival mechanic system, the mission layered system, the dialogue system. I haven't gotten into any of those things, right? And I'm already 22 minutes in this video. Okay? That's the type of thing that this game does that no other game can possibly understand at all. Like the amount of detail and attention and the fact that they did so many different things in this game and they nailed it every single time, right? It's like when you find a politician who says they're going to do something and they do it. It's like it's so rare and refreshing that you almost just want to like just give it a hug, you know? like if I could meet the developers of this game, I would just give them a hug. Like that is like they did what the developer should do, right? This is the point of being a developer, making games that people love and that are good quality. Something that a lot of devs, I'm looking at you DayZ, I'm looking at you Call of Duty, can't do no more, okay? And so again, I'm not paid I'm not paid by Sony or anything. I'm this is how I feel from my own personal experience. And I want everyone to understand that if you take anything from this video, just know that gaming can be fun. I know some people it feels like you can't be no more because you're old and you have kids, or you're married, or you have work, or maybe the games you play just don't make you as happy as they used to, and that's fine. But gaming can make you happy. You just have to find what does make you happy in gaming. For me, it is playing a character like Aloy and getting to really understand someone else's pain that I can oftentimes relate to as a human being. And I mean, look at the scenery. Like playing a game this beautiful just makes you feel good. Like I'm smiling right now, and I have no reason to smile other than the fact that I'm looking at such a beautiful landscape, the Rocky Mountains. And then obviously, if we throw the map up here, you guys can see this is like the Rocky Mountains of California up in this area, and then down here you get the wooded swamplands of the coast of California, and over here it's supposed to be like LA. Like Los Angeles, and getting to see those places in a destroyed state, but so yet elegantly beautiful at the same time is such a weird experience that it is mind blowing. It is transforming. Seeing some of the big skyscrapers in LA, the Hollywood sign, seeing the Hollywood sign destroyed, but destroyed in a beautiful way. Like it's not necessarily like rubble. It's like the overgrown grass and trees sticking through it, and there's snow on the roofs or whatever it may be, and it's storming, and it's just so elegant. And you can see, I don't know if you'll see it from here, but there is some areas on the map that have the giant Horuses. Basically a Horus? Huras? I don't remember how you pronounce it. But they're basically these giant mountain-sized monster robots that used to be like these super deadly machines back in Ancient Human in this storyline. Most of them are decommissioned, but there's a couple that you have to fight during the storyline, and they like shape the surrounding landscape. Their arms and their legs wrap around you as you're walking through the mountaintops. Their eyes you can see from miles away, and it's just so beautifully crafted and it's so elegant. I could go on for hours, but I'll end it here with this final statement. Nothing is forever. But while you're here and you're living and breathing, there is nothing wrong with trying something different and new. And Forbidden West, for me, is a thing that when people say, "Why do you game?" This is why. This is why I game. For an experience of a lifetime. To play a story that many will never understand, but I hope they will try to in the future. So at the end of this video, all I have to say to the developers of this game, thank you. Thank you for unleashing your passion upon a project that has actually turned out to be quite good. It's been almost a year since I beat this game in Plat Trophy, and I want to do it all over again. So thank you. And I'll see you guys in the next one.